Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we will be continuing in the third case of the game, The Return of the Great Departed Soul. So before I start, I just wanted to say that from now on, my commentary will probably be a little limited just because I am now in what I call a hurry, a rush. As I've mentioned before, I have family coming soon to stay, and one of them will be staying longer than the other. Two of them are coming, and we don't know how long she's planning on staying. She doesn't have a job or anything, so she'll probably she's retired, you know. And I'm hoping it's only like maximum 2 weeks, but God, if she stays any longer, I'll probably go crazy. But that means, you know how it is when families around. It's really hard to do anything in your free time. So I'm probably not going to be able to record. So I'm already like, yeah. That plus we have an electrician finally who's going to be coming and doing things. It's been hard to even get things scheduled because like he's been wanting to come whenever we're not available, and it's been hard, but he's coming. Compared to the other times that we've had electricians who've burned us, like this one seems more determined to actually come and get things done. So we're like, okay, finally. So it seems likely he's gonna get the ball rolling this week. But it sounds like it's a lot of work that's going to need to be done. So it's going to be an extended project, which is going to affect my recording as well, because, I'm probably going to have to rearrange and move around a lot of things. So I might not even be able to record. I might have to, shut down my computer and move the whole system and everything. So we'll see. So I don't think this will be the last episode you guys see, but I'll be making a bigger video for the whole channel and posting that up soon. But the next episode will probably be the last episode that I'll be having for you guys, just to let you know. So yeah, this will be limited commentary. I'll be speeding through it as fast as possible. I might make mistakes, and yeah, so don't be surprised. I'm really just like in a hurry, get as much done as possible. A lot of it might not even sink into my brain. I mean, honestly, I've been very forgetful lately. Honestly, I had too much on my mind with how stressed I've been with work and everything. It would really help if I get a new job as well, because that's really, putting me in a emotional and mental rut as well. So yeah, let's get to this. I need to rush through this episode. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. Hopefully enough information has been in my mind that I don't forget too much of what's going on. Oh yeah, new character appeared. But other than that, like my brain's like, oh, I don't even remember much of what happened last time. October 23rd, British Supreme Court. Oh yeah, there was the cute dog, right? Toby. Yeah, that was cute. All right, Stronghart. I think we needed we needed his permission to examine, right? To investigate. Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Stronghart? I wonder. I've never seen her before. Oh, like the fact that I can't remember voices anymore. I know there's a lot of characters to voice in the game, which doesn't help, but I'm usually better at remembering voices, but the fact that I'm having trouble remembering a lot of people who I'm voicing is a sign that clearly my brain is just not on the ball like I usually am. Like, damn, Binks. Like, what voice do I even give? I'm like, I know I give you a deep voice, but like, do I give you an accent? I don't remember. Oh, why is my memory so bad? It's been really, really bad. Like, damn. I don't know. I don't know why my memory's been so bad lately. It's really scary. I'm not that old. Like, why is my memory so bad? Um, Yeesh. I might need to talk to my doctor. Like, hey, why is my memory so bad? What voice did I give you? Other than deep. I don't think I gave you an accent.
Ah, the young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand. And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result.
Oh, you mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment? Maybe this is the COVID. Maybe I'm just feeling so off all this time because of the COVID. Maybe that's what this is. I've been feeling off ever since then. That's probably, maybe this is like a long-term thing, effect of it. I wouldn't be surprised, you guys. That's probably what this is. That combined with all the life stuff with work. Man, that's probably it.
Sham science being demonstrated at London's great exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrabbling to respond. Lord von Zieks is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time.
At least he's not mad at us. I mean, it's not our fault, yeah. It's scrap metal now, is it? Alright, new character. She seems very, like, upright and proper. Almost like they could be related, even though, like, her skin tone is much more pale. But they have a similar look to them. Should I give her an accent? I feel maybe I should. Until later then, Lord Stronghart.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, just one line. Okay. Who was that?
That was Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Scythe? Probably Scythe. Scythe. Courtney. Another Courtney, like Judge Courtney, who's been renamed, by the way. Because they're releasing that game now, finally, in the West. And I'm not a fan of some of the names. I mean, because you know, you get used to the ones that the English fan translation did, and I don't know. I liked the ones we had, like Raymond Shields especially, and Judge Courtney. You know, I mean, what was it? Garrity something, Verity. I forgot. It's weird to me. Gavel. I don't know, something like that. It's weird. It's gonna take a lot of getting used to. At least I don't have to LP it again. I'm like, whatever, that's somebody else's problem. Well, that's gonna be Coco's problem because now she's gonna have to do that. But yeah, Ray Shields, his new name. That's weird to me. Really weird. Uncle Ray is no longer Uncle Ray. That really bothers me. When you're used to something, it's just like, damn.
That was Dr. Courtney Scythe, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner.
That's the coroner. Okay.
She's leading the forensic investigation team's handling of this case.
Excuse me.
She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact.
Oh, finally. cool. Let me see it, please. Oh, I see. About Mr. Asman.
Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to re-evaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly. You can find her in the forensics laboratory.
Ah, right. Hey, we're actually allowed to do that. Cool.
Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time.
I mean, it shouldn't take that long. Just give me 2 minutes. I just need to ask permission to go investigate, and just give me that, and we're cool. So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. Also, I would love to confront you about Kazuma potentially being alive and potentially being the masked man, but I'm sure we're not going to talk about that right now, so... Okay. What exactly is the forensic investigation team that you mentioned before? I think out of everything that's going on in the game, that's the only thing that right now I really truly care the most about. Like, it's not like I don't care about anything else, but that's the thing I'm the most emotionally invested in, is Kazuma. And if he's alive. And I'm also curious about the mystery about the collar. Like, yeah. Those are the two that I'm like, ooh, tell me. You know? The overall big mysteries there about that. Sorry. Gosh. I'm tired. Why? I had to turn off my fan because I didn't want it to get picked up on the recording. So it got hot in here. What exactly is the forensic team, investigation team that you mentioned before?
The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way.
Goodness, a year ago?
At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensics division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly.
What do you mean?
For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. The London scum is about to be rounded up and burnt in the fires of hell. I intend to see to it, personally, by creating the finest police force the world has ever known, to protect our honor and our future.
Look at those eyes. He means every word.
Dr. Scythe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially establish the forensics division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotoba.
Oh, yes, my lord.
Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan.
Yes, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month.
Are you acquainted?
Oh, are you acquainted, Lord Stronghart? With Professor Mikotoba, I mean.
It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well.
Interesting.
If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student.
It was the year I was born. So yes, 16 years ago, in fact.
Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young, promising judge. The punctiliousness and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way.
I didn't think that you were.
Dr. Mikotoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, or Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Scythe was also there then, as it happens.
Then Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she?
She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I've no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total.
6 years. That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? I lived with my grandmother in those years. Oh, that's sad. You didn't know your father for the first 6 years of your life? Yeesh. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years? It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? Had your mother just passed away then? Because the fact that your grandmother was raising you, I feel like he ran away from his responsibilities and maybe from his grief. That's so sad. Aww. Maybe because you reminded him of her. Oh, that's really, really sad. I'm jumping to conclusions though. Well, clearly something was going on at the time. I wanted to ask you about Lord Von Zieks, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right?
You Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper.
What? Why?
When his brother, Clint von Zieks, was murdered, it was just after young Barak had graduated from the University of London and became a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing, rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that wherever Barak von Zieks went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind.
Oh my word! So, Lord Von Zieks isn't the Reaper. It's the ghost of his brother?
Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles.
Oh yes, Lord Stronghart.
Go ahead.
It's about Professor Harebrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains if possible.
Are you well versed in science, then?
Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently.
Well, the special dispensation legally preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Scythe's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing.
Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing. And I'll be able to see it too.
Your time is up.
Hey, perfect timing.
You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls.
We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord.
I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium, you understand.
Okay, let's go. New location. I always feel so nervous here. I should love to ask if I could borrow some books, but I just can't. So I guess we should go examine... Oh, forensics laboratory. Should we go there? We haven't been here yet, have we? I'm rather excited. Oh, he did say we should talk to her, right? A forensic science laboratory in the basement of St. Siner's Hospital where Chief Coroner Dr. Scythe conducts her work. Cool, let's go there then. Before we go examine the experiment. Ooh! Ooh, I like this. Very gothic, very cool, very gruesome and creepy looking. Oh, oh, I wish Coco could see this. Oh, oh, is Sign watching? I think Sign is watching this. Yeah, she's watching this LP. Sign, it's Bone Daddy. It's his Leia. It's Beatrice. Oh, it's Beatrice. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So, I played a game called Nameless. It was a dating visual novel otome game. And there was this creepy uh this creepy guy. He was like the school nurse, I guess. And he clearly had no interest in that at all. But he was the most mysterious, weird character in the whole game. And um I can't even remember his actual character's name, but we called him Bone Daddy because he had uh, a skeleton model in his office like that, and he would always creepily talk to it and address it, and he named it Beatrice. And he had other like figures that he named and loved as well. But Beatrice was his one true love, and he was like obsessed with her. And it was super funny and creepy at the same time, and we were always like, what the frick? But every time he came, it was like the most funniest part of the whole LP in the whole game. And it was like he had his own little side story going on, and I think there's like a DLC and stuff to the game that I kind of was tempted to do, but the game was so long and took forever to get me through. And I ended up having Coco help me to get through it because it was just, oh, it was too much. But like it was an interesting game. I had a lot of fun with it though. It was a little wild. Uh, oh man, memories. But like Beatrice was like the best part. Her and Bone Daddy. And we had this joke that Pharaoh was Bone Daddy because every time he would randomly pop into the chat was whenever Bone Daddy was not on screen, and we were like, "You are Bone Daddy, Pharaoh." Oh, I said I wouldn't have commentary, but I didn't expect this, okay? I can't help it. It's in my blood. I can't. It's hard not to do commentary, man. I'm just so used to it. Oh, well. I'm not good at speeding through. I just like to talk too much. October 23rd, Forensics Laboratory. I do like that lamp, too. That's gorgeous lamp. Dagnabbit. There's too much to talk about. Just look at this room. It's freaking awesome and creepy at the same time. I love that lamp. And I want Beatrice. Dang it. Even the chair is cool. Damn. Stuffed owl and then another little, like, actual creepy bird. Like, looks like it could be friends with Von Zieg's bats. Looks like a torture. Like, what is like that weird chandelier thing that's not lit up? Like, what is that? That looks like a torture device, man. That's creepy as frick. Love it. I believe this is it. Dr. Scythe's laboratory. The chemical smell really assaults the nose. I would be disgusted. Like, I actually briefly considered doing like coroner or like mortician, because I work in the medical field, but I'm the boring stuff, billing and coding and all this BS that I hate now. And it's because for me, I have some physical challenges and with my health, and for me to have to worry about actually having someone's life in my hands is a little too much pressure for me. So I was like, oh, I don't think I can handle actually being a nurse or a doctor. Is a little scary with my anxiety. I'm like, oh. So I was like, what can I do that's in the medical field that's not actually having that pressure with my physical challenges is really hard. So I was like, oh, maybe if I'd be like a mortician or something, they're actually already dead. I don't have to worry about killing them. But then I thought, like, the more you think about it, you're like, oh, you have to deal with them being dead. It's like really sad and depressing. And then you have to see like all the gross stuff. And I'm like, I think it would be a little too gross. And I'm very sensitive to that kind of stuff. So I'm like, never mind. Like all the smells and stuff would make me too sick. I'm too sensitive. Like, ugh, just thinking about it. No. So like, dang nabbit, I'm so limited. Like, why is my body and my stomach have to be so sensitive? Like, ugh, stupid gut. Why can't you be stronger? I would totally do that if it wasn't for that. Ugh, why you gotta be such a weak? Why are you so weak, stupid stomach? Why you gotta be like grossed out so easily? All right, plenty to assault the eyes in here too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a seasoned tourist you've become, Mr. Sato. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. Oh, were we not supposed to come here, or we're just allowed to just look around, I guess? I suppose this is Dr. Scythe's desk. Ugh, I would not like to work in a place like this. It's very tidy, though, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Imagine how efficiently she must work. The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Yeah, she doesn't have like a window. They usually let like in like a basement or something, but it's like, what about ventilation? That's not good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves. Well, yes, those are valid concerns, I suppose. I can just about cope with a one-eyed Daruma doll watching over me, but that's all. Okay. Guess we can look at these. Beatrice! Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold, and I'm gonna ignore everything else about it. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo? What skeleton? I'm ignoring it, clearly. Mrs. Sato, can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope. It's called copium. I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Oh. That looks like an owl and a crow up there. They're buddies. I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here. Maybe they're stuffed. The owl looks very, very fake. I don't know. It looks creepy as hell. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo. Yep. Ugh, I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Daruma doll on display in the office instead. Looks Look at all the bottles on the shelves in these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals. These ones here are labeled highly toxic. That's worrying because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there. Oh yes, and they actually say salt and pepper on them. Not very good idea to have them near each other. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here sometimes. Maybe we'll have a case where she's dead next time. Life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. Alright. Anything else? Oh, these, okay. Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. Yee. I suppose they're fruit liquors or something, or like the pickled umeboshi plums we make back home, or organs. Ah, Father had jars like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs in a preserving solution, probably as examples of some rare medical condition. Mrs. Sato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. Ever. Oh. So as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or umeboshi, aren't they? Of course. You just want to live in denial, don't you? You poor thing. Yes, give me denial, please. A table, and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing? Well, it's probably the blood, dude. It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air? You'd either have to have a cast iron constitution, or a really terrible sense of smell. Ugh. Which I have neither, unfortunately, so that's why I can't do this job. Alright. I think we're done. So she's not here. Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna go then. Cool. Well, at least we got to look around. I feel we need to spend a little more time investigating here. Really? Like what? Did I miss something in particular to trigger something? Maybe there was something in particular I was supposed to look at to get her to appear? No? Or maybe she's saying that because she is supposed to appear later, so we have to come back after we look at the machine. That's probably it. That's probably it. We'll be back. Oh, well, we can't go there right now. What's up, Jaina? Oi! That's off limits up there. Try to sneak past me again and I'll stuff your gold full of the boss's fish and chips. Yes, please. I love fish and chips. Suppose we need special permission. But we did get special permission. Do we have to talk to her to get... Oh, okay. Investigating the scene. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Ah, yes, Toby. Oof. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume? I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind... Sorry, can't go up there, Suze. Oh. It's like I told him yesterday. But we were allowed. Blah, blah, blah. We got permission. Stronghart. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Stronghart. You what? You've met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, they waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Tragic. Well, Lord Stronghart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them's the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Don't worry, we were not lying. Right then, Odo. Leave it to me. Sorry. We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. And they're not cops, so... Oh, right. Well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Got that oil scent, have ya? Come on then, boy. See you later. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. He's so set on that, isn't he? The stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we can find out. Okay. Oh my, so this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrain went to in order to obtain the research grant. No. The professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Oh, look, is that? Oh. Lord Von Zieks. Huh. So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we go? Mrs. Sato. You want to run just because he's there. Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be here. From the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine. As long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Stronghart? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have bent her steel will. She's stronger than you, you little... you weak man. Oh, don't let him intimidate you. Interesting. This wasn't here yesterday. With the cage that he was in? Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the bird cage. According to what Professor Harebrained said in court, it's made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Nadahodo? I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they'd finished their work. But sadly not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. So he touched it? The wooden cage that was used for Professor Harebrain's experiment. This cage with the victim inside crashed down into the crystal tower. He had to touch it in order to make a note of it? Dun, 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 dun. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the bird cage is right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Nodohodo, that metal grill on the floor. It's like a platform, yeah? Yeah, designed to... That's what I was saying, like, clearly he went down? Looks as though it's designed to open. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? So is that the big fall that he had, that his body had all those injuries then? That's what I was thinking. Okay. Let's see. Okay, just look at something. Look at that horn-shaped transmitting device. Isn't it amazing? That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. It makes you think, doesn't it? If only it had just been a normal horn, none of this would have happened. It's almost exactly what I thought as well. I bet I can predict what you're going to say next in that case. You're about to say, nothing ever goes to plan, aren't you? Oh no, I would never say something like that. You gonna look at the balloon? Yeah. However much I look at them, I just can't come to terms with those Tamari handballs floating in the sky. You've been glaring at them constantly since we came up here. Sorry, the feelings of wanting to ride in one and wanting never to set foot in one are fighting it out inside me. But if you don't look where you're walking, you might fall from the stage. I don't think I noticed. That's how fiercely the battle inside me is raging. I think you should make peace with riding in one, Mr. Nodohodo. It really would be much safer that way. Okay, nothing else up there. Anything else that I've missed? No lever or anything sticking out in particular. Let me look at that. Oh, isn't it exhilarating? All this different architecture from all corners of the world. It does make you feel a bit like an explorer, doesn't it? I know it's all subjective, but the onion-shaped roofs have rather caught my attention personally. It is very subjective, isn't it? Japanese buildings with their wood and paper construction have excellent ventilation. And I've realized that British buildings, being made from brick and stone, are very strong and long-lasting. The more you know about how things are done in other countries, the more you understand your own, I feel. Oh yes, I do agree with you there. But I can't help wondering what an onion does for the roof of a building. I mean, I suppose it's playing on my mind because I don't like the taste of onions. You really oughtn't let your taste in vegetables dictate your taste in roofs, Mr. Nodohodo. Look at the Ferris wheel. I hear that a ride on the Ferris wheel is a favored romantic outing among young London couples. I think the romance would be slightly spoilt by the abject terror, personally, but then I'm not a Londoner. Are you a little scared of heights, Mr. Naruhodo? I think he's very scared. I'm not that scared. It's not that I'm scared. Not at all. It's just that staying on the ground seems so much safer. Well, perhaps I shall have to ask Iris and Mr. Holmes to accompany me on it in that case. When you put it like that, part of me does want to give it a try. Oh dear. It is complicated for you, isn't it? Oh, that's funny. Is that it? Looks like it. Guess we can look at him. This handsome, complicated man. Ugh. Least approachable man in the world winner. 10 years in a row. Oh my gosh, Ryunosuke. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistants stand firm behind you. He's over there like, when are they going to approach me? When? How long are they going to avoid me? Damn it. He refuses to be the first to approach. Lord Von Zeeks, I know you noticed us, so, yeah, I guess we have to be the ones to be friendly, huh? Dang it.
What?
Well, beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? Naruhodo, why did you pick this as your cold opener?
I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently, you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs.
Oh, I read them quite clearly.
So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited.
Well, the thing is, Lord Chief Justice Stronghart granted us permission to investigate. On the condition that we didn't disturb anything.
And yet you've managed to disturb me.
He said anything, not anyone. Unless you're admitting you're a thing. Oh, get him! Get him! I want to say that so bad. Oh, Bing, stop. You're not supposed to commentate. You're supposed to just get through this. I want to start a fight. I'm being petty. Sorry. Hey, he started it, okay? He started it.
Never mind. State your business then.
Come to think of it, I was just trying to be friendly. There are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Von Zeeks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. Alright, let's talk about your tragic backstory. So, Clint. Oof, that's how you're starting this? What's the name of your older brother? I understand, Lord Von Zeeks.
You Nipponese. You always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you?
Oh, no, it's not like that. I mean, yeah, isn't it? Kind of. Well, alright, it is a bit like that.
My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Von Zeeks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him away from us.
The professor, you mean? Is something funny?
That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised.
Sorry? There's more to it then?
Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it?
Ah, you're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next?
That's what he's been doing. So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident?
As it happens, Lord Von Zieks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention.
Hmm?
Are you aware of the Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance?
I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there for public scorn.
Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. Oh, I didn't expect them to tell him. Okay.
A particular waxwork, which... Wait, you mean...
Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Holmes is investigating the case as we speak.
I was unaware of that.
He's turned as white as a sheet. Interesting. Okay. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Well, you already know that, but sure.
Surely that goes without saying.
We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Harebrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So, I was just wondering, I realize it's probably not possible, but, we'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. That's why she's amazing, and that's why you need her.
Fine. Why not?
It's because he cares about Harebrain, so that's why he's willing to put up with your your awkwardness and just like, fine, I'll help you. Oh, you have a picture? Damn, okay.
I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago.
Oh. So that's him. Oh, he's much more handsome than I was picturing. A pretty boy. With those cutting cheekbones. Like, he could be a model. A bit creepy, but also model. A creepy model. A gothic model.
Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time.
The only thing that ruins it is the monocle, I guess. Yeah. Definitely interesting. Definitely potential murderer. That's what he has that severe look to him, you know?
Very serious. What?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us.
We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow. Which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph?
What is it about Lord Von Zieks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. Okay. Photographic print of the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber. It's hard to make out, but he appears to be wearing a monocle with black glass. Okay. Oh! It's you! It's you, my darling. My potential husbando. Back from the dead, maybe. Hopefully. Ah! But I have to end the episode, so I think this is a good little cliffhangery moment to leave it on. So, All right, we'll stop here. All right, well, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I know I don't know how to stop myself from making too much commentary, clearly. So I'm not going to get through it as fast as I'd hoped, but I think we still made pretty good progress. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.